$100,000 per year cost just to license the software. Trace?
Mark Meredith in D.C. Mark, thank you. Let's bring in former Army sniper and active shooter instructor Alex Coker. Alex, a research paper, and thank you for coming on, sir, a research paper that was used by the National Education Association said that hardening schools does not work. It goes on to say, quoting here, hundreds of millions of dollars have been spent to harden schools. None of the currently employed school firearm violence prevention methods have empirical evidence to show that they actually diminish firearm violence in schools. And what would you say to that, sir?
Yes, sir. Just want to say a couple things. Number one, my heart goes out to the families of, the lost of victims out there, that tragedy. Number two, the Nashville officers, they did a phenomenal job and they deserve to have praise. Those guys are heroes. As far as talking about this new, high-tech AI technology, you got Supermax prisons that are able to get, shanks inside there where people are still shanked, people are still stabbed, and people are still killed. It's not necessarily a weapon problem, it's a heart problem. And we need to focus on the mental health issue that's going on. It's not a gun problem.
Yeah, it's amazing, too, because you have two sides of the argument, and you have the education, journalism, and research that writes the following here. We also need to double down, and it's kind of what you were saying there, Alex, double down on softening schools to focus on building social, emotional skills of students and educators and strengthen relationships between students and educators. Do we harden? Do we soften? Alex, do we do both? What's the remedy here?
Again, Bruce Lee once said it's better to have, not need, than to need, not have. It's great to have a lot of equipment, but civilians in general, that old saying, when seconds count, cops are minutes away. And as a civilians, as a society, don't stop and film it with your camera, get up and do something about it. And it just doesn't need to be just one hero. It needs to be everybody, lottie-dottie, everybody, just like stirring up a hornet's nest. They all come out all at once. A hornet is maybe 2 inches big with a tiny little stinger, but it believes in himself, and everybody attacks that mass shooter all at once. Even though you're unarmed, we're all going to leave this earth one day, and you got to be prepared to leave, and leave with a positive impact, doing something great and protecting those around you. We need to charge that mass shooter, just like the World Colorado shooting. You can't run away from it. You can't deny it. You have to defend. It was one guy, with a few weapons, but again, everyone charging at once, you will take him down.
And we noticed that there are a lot more shootings in middle schools and high schools, a lot less at elementary schools, especially private elementary schools. Should those schools have more security? I've got about 15, 20 seconds left for you, Alex.
Security is always great. We're all about having schoolers to rows there. I will say, as far as America, we took out the paddle. Kids no longer fear the teacher or the PE teacher. Spare the rod, spoil the child. There's no longer licks that you and I were scared of that made us disciplined, organized, functioning adults. And we need to put that back in there. If we had our way, put junior RTC programs, not just in high schools, but starting out in kindergarten and move them all the way up. We have more organized, a more disciplined society, and we have a stronger nation in general.
Yeah, we may very well. Alex Coker, it's great insight. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well, we have very interesting, brand new